Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the Foxy Eye look. I don't know if you can tell. Am I looking foxy? I don't know if I like it, but we'll see. So yeah, we're just gonna crack on and get started. If you haven't done so already, please do like, comment and subscribe and follow me on Instagram. And yeah, let's just get on with it. So we're going to start by popping some tape on my eye. I'm just going to use my zinc oxide tape, the tape that I always use, just popped it on the back of my hand to remove some of the tack. And we want this really sort of extremely pulled up look. So the tape's going to go sort of up at this angle. They say to do it in line with your cheekbone, so let's try that. This is really hard to do left-handed. Okay, I'm not holding the brush at the same time. So we want a nice high angle up here. Do they match? They're probably not going to match. Mine never do. But hey ho. So we're going to prime the eyelid with e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Tan Sand. I'm not actually using P. Louise base for this because the P. Louise base that I have is a little bit pale for me. And I feel like if I had all this excess space of P. Louise base, then it would look a bit crazy. So we're using the e.l.f. concealer. So I'm just patting that on with my Morphe Jeffree Star JS5. So we're going to use some more of that concealer just to conceal the tail of my eyebrow, because the eyebrows want to go sort of more, I don't want to say pointy upwards, but sort of up rather than down. So I'm just going to put the doe foot out, and this is it's a doe colour flat brush, and I'm just going to grab some from here. I'm going to pat that on the end of my eyebrow. And then we're going to set it with my Laura Mercier translucent powder on my Real Techniques setting brush. There we go. So you should be able to see that I've just sort of eliminated the tail of that eyebrow a little bit, just enough to change the shape a little bit when we draw them back on. So we've got a nice flat base ready to pop colour on with. So I'm going to be using my Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals palette, and the colours that I'm mainly going to be using are Memory, Ritual and Soothe in the matte shades, so these three. And I'm also going to use a tiny bit of Soothe in Sequin. So I'm going to start off with the Ritual shade, which is the dark brown, and I'm going to use my Jessup 230 brush. And this is just going to go, quite a lot of it is going to go outside here on the V and start off that sort of wing shape. But we don't want too much on the inner corner, so I'm not going right up there yet. I'm just packing the shade in. Now we're going to go into that inner corner, but I'm using a thinner liner brush, which is another doe colour brush, but with the same shade, the dark brown. Just going to run it tighter along that top eyelid. And that is going to get covered up with black in a minute, so don't worry about being too accurate with that. So next we're going to go with that Soothe shade, the lighter brown, and that's going to go on my Morphe Jeffree Star JS6. Just to blend that out. We're going to use a Morphe M506 to go back in with Ritual, the darker brown, and this needs to go in the crease but not above it. And just a hint, we don't want too much here. And now we're ready to pop some black on, which is Memory, and we're going to use that same little liner brush again. So this is going to go all the way up that wing. You also want it on the inner corner, but not too much, so be pretty careful at this stage. And now I'm going to use my Morphe M508 with the shade Ritual on it to blend that out. Back in with my Morphe Jeffree Star and the shade Soothe. And you can see that I've lost the intensity a little bit of that black on the inner corner. So I'm just going to sharpen that up with the liner brush. And now we're ready to pop some liner on. This is just my Amazon wing liner stamp, and it's just going to go in this sort of upper inner corner eye crease. Right, so now I nearly forgot. I'm going to use my MAC 194 brush and that Soothe sequin shade, which I talked about earlier, and that's just going to go just here to add a little bit of sparkle. You can hardly see that, but it adds a little bit of shimmer. Okay, so the tape's ready to come off now. Here we go. There we have two Foxy Eyes. Hopefully they match. I think we've done pretty well matching here. I've got loads of fallout all over my face from the black. Okay, so I cleaned up the fallout. Pretty simple eye look as far as everything goes, to be honest, compared to how long my eye looks normally take. That was pretty quick and pretty easy. I am going to do my base on camera, so I've forgotten to wet my sponge. I'm just going to go and wet it, and then I'll be right back and we'll get the base done. Okay guys, my sponge is nice and wet and ready to go. I'm going to start off by moisturising with the Glam Glow Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturiser in the shade Sun Glow. I want a super glowy look today, so that's what we're going for. So I'm just rubbing this in with my fingers. And then next I'm going to use my e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. And I'm going to get some out with the end of my brush and pop it on my face. That may be a bit much, but we're going for the glowy look. Okay, I'm looking super shiny and super glowy. So I want to start off using the new foundation that I've got, which is the ABH Luminous Foundation, and I use the shade 332C. So I'm going to start off by using one pump on my sponge. I do find this is quite a medium coverage foundation, and the pump gets stuck, annoyingly. Probably not the first person you've heard say that, but the pump does get stuck. But not stuck that's so it's impossible to get up. It just takes its time to come back up, or needs a little flick. So it didn't get stuck that time. It's very temperamental, a bit like me. So I'm probably going to do another coat of this. Yeah, I'm going to do another coat. Another coat, sound like I'm painting a wall. I just wanted to be a bit more full coverage, so I am going to do some more. See, pump is stuck. So I just use one more pump worth all over my face. Really not sure if I'm feeling this eye look. Really don't know how I feel about it. So I'm going to cream contour now using my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Rich Chocolate. Now, if you watch my Tati video, you know that I don't need to put too much of this on because I end up looking ridiculous. But you know what? I feel like I've already put too much on. And you have to work quick with this stuff because it dries. So I'm just patting that in with my brush, and I will go over it with my beauty blender in a second. I really like that e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer. Even as a cream contour, it's just gotten such a nice finish to it. Right, so I'm going to use the other end of the sponge to just blend that. So now I'm going to go in with concealer, and I'm going to use my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer again, but this is in the shade Medium Peach. This is super bright, so I don't need too much. So we want the concealer to really pull the light of our face up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a couple of dots of concealer here, just to see if we can extend it a bit. That's kind of what we're going for. Okay, now we're ready to set it. So I'm gonna use my Laura Mercier setting powder with my Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm literally gonna pat out the creases on one eye and set it straight away. So, like this. Because we're not putting any eyeshadow under there, we really need to try and eliminate any creases. Okay, and then same again on the other eye. So I'm really working that foundation almost into the crease, but also working it out of the crease so that any excess product is soaked up by the sponge. And I'm just going to keep patting it until I think it's ready. And I'm almost pressing the powder into my crease. So we're going to do a little bit of baking, and for this I'm going to use my beauty blender. Can't remember the name of this thing. It's like a puff sort of thing. And I'm going to start concentrating on my forehead. So I'm just going to use this side to pat out any creases. And then the other side, this big fluffy edge, and it's got this little rubber band so you can hold it on 2 fingers, which is quite nice. So I'm going to pick up some product and press it into those creases on my forehead. I'm just going to leave that there to set for a little while. And then we're also going to bake down here, but for that I'm going to use the pointier edge. And I tend to get real laughter line creases, so I'm going to do a little bit of baking here. So I left that bake on for a couple of minutes. I'm just going to dust it off with this big Real Techniques 300 brush. Okay, so we're ready to pop some Revolution Pro Skin Finish on, and I'm going to use the shade Opalescent, if I can open it. And I'm going to use my big fluffy Real Techniques brush again in 201, and this is just going to go everywhere because it will give you that nice, it's called Skin Finish for a reason, right? It gives you a nice skin finish, glowy. So next I'm going to do my brows as I normally would with the same combination, but at the tail I'm going to try to bring it upwards a little bit. It may not work, hoping that it does. That's my brows done. I don't really feel like they've changed shape at all. If anything, they're just a little bit shorter. I've kind of learned not to mess with my brows now. They're microbladed, and unless I'm doing a drag look where I'm completely covering them up, there's not really much point. So I'm just going to leave them at that, I think. So now we're going to use powder contour, and I'm going to use my Lion King Sir John Luminess palette, and this is the 6-piece sculpting palette. It looks a little bit like this. And I'm going to use my Morphe Jeffree Star JS3 brush. Now we've obviously already got contour on, so we don't need too much. So now I need to pop some bronzer on. I'm going to use my Dull Beauty Gimme Sun bronzer in medium, which looks like this, and I'm going to use my Morphe Jeffree Star JS2 brush. So I haven't taken that bronzer too high, just because we want to keep the light here that we put with the concealer. So I've kind of run it almost up to it, but not all the way. And now we can do some blush, which is the Milani Coral Cove blush, this one. And I'm going to use my Morphe Jeffree Star JS20 blush brush. So now we're going to pop some highlighter on, and I'm going to use my favourite, my Jaclyn Hill loose highlighter in the shade Balm, because it's balm.com. So there's some already in the top. I don't need to get any more out. Just look at it. Honestly, this stuff is just beautiful. And then I'm going to use my Morphe M321 brush to do my nose and my brow bone with this. You guys seeing that? Okay. So I'm going to use my L'Oreal Shake and Glow setting spray. Love that stuff. So I've just had a quick look at some of the Foxy Eye trends pictures going around, and they do actually connect this line to the waterline. Go. I think that looks a little bit more foxy. Can you see the difference? Yeah, I think it brings it together a bit better. So I couldn't find my nude eyeliner, so I've got my rose gold Barry M one, and I've also got my brown one. I'm going to try the rose gold one in my waterline first and see if I like it. If not, then I think we'll probably go in with the brown. I don't even think you can see that. Let's try the brown. Yeah, I quite like that brown. It just sort of closes off that shape a little bit. So now we're going to pop some lashes on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the lash trick, but I'm also going to pop some glue on the outer third of the lashes and let it dry. Well, not dry completely, but let it get tacky. So I'm going to pop this glue just here on that last sort of portion, and you'll see why I'm doing that in just a second. So while that dries, I'm going to decide what lip to use. So I'm going to go with the newest addition to my collection, my lip collection, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick and liner. So those lashes are not quite ready yet, so I'm just going to line my lips. So that's the lip done, and let's now pop the eyelash glue on. So I'm going to stick the inner corner down first. This is going to be a bit tricky. And this outer corner isn't actually going to get stuck to the lash line. It's just a couple of millimeters above the lash line to bring that look out. Hopefully you can see that that's a couple of millimeters above the lash line just towards the end. Okay guys, so this is the final Foxy look. I do think it's come together a lot more with the lashes on. It does make a big difference. Do I look like I've had an instant facelift though? I mean, if I do this, then yeah I do, but I'm not too sure. Maybe a little bit, but I still quite like it. I much prefer a big bold cut crease or halo eye or colourful look, to be honest, but yeah, this is the final look. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys have tried it. It's a bit of a trend at the moment, so I'm sure plenty of you have, and it's quite a simple eye look to do when you've got the tools. So, well, tape, you don't even need tape really, do you? Because you can do it without tape if you're half decent at eyeliner, which I'm not. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm gonna sign off now, and please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. Let me know what you think of this look, and I hope you are all keeping safe and keeping well, and hopefully being let out soon, because they're talking about it, but let's see what happens. But yeah, thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.